Chris Smith and Howard Berman introduced H.R. 2830, the Traffic Victim Protection Reauthorization Act, TVPRA, in the House of Representatives on August 30th, 2011. This bill renews the Trafficking Victims Protection Act passed by Congress in 2000 to combat sex slave trafficking in the U.S. and abroad by declaring certain prescribed activities a federal crime. On June 29, 2011, Senators Leahy, Brown, Kerry, Boxer, and Wyden introduced S. 1301, the Senate companion. These bills appeared to be on a path to passage last year until they were sidetracked in September, when the Department of Health and Human Services rejected a $4.5 million grant application filed by the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops to aid victims of labor and sex trafficking, which would have been funded by TVPRA. Congressional supporters of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, including Representative Darrell Issa, claimed that the grant was denied because of that group's unwillingness to refer victims intended to benefit from services funded by TVPRA for abortion, contraceptive, and/or family planning services. The Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, made it clear that an important factor in the denial was the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops' unwillingness to offer or contract with an outside group the full range of services, including contraceptives and abortion, which are viewed by HHS as essential components for women's health care. From 2006 to 2011, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops has administered the Migration Services and Refugee Services Program, which did not offer referrals for abortion or contraceptive services for victims that would be covered by TVPRA. That contract period predated the brave new world of affordable healthcare mandates that call for equal rights for women's healthcare, including contraceptive and abortion services that were already available by mandate in 26 states and are now being mandated by the federal government. In December 2011, the original TVPRA sponsor, Representative Smith of New Jersey, introduced a new version of the bill setting forth two important changes. Representative Smith is quoted as saying, "We're talking about a Catholic group with a superior track record that was pushed aside to promote the abortion agenda." The first proposed change included insertion of a conscience clause, which would have presumably accommodated the moral commandments of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops concerning abortion and contraceptives. This change appears to be acceptable to the Senate sponsors, according to the Senate staff members. The second change would switch the Victims Assistance Program under TVPRA from HHS and place it in the Department of Justice. It has been reported some members of the Senate do not support removal of HHS as the administrator of these services, and this difference of opinion has stymied passage of TVPRA. It is beyond doubt that Congress, and especially the U.S. Department of State, the U.S. Department of Justice, and HHS recognize that slave sex trafficking is a high priority that deserves immediate attention. Human trafficking victims include women, children, and men. This problem is widespread, occurring all over the world, even in the U.S. Estimates are that as many as 2 million people a year are moved across international borders, and that the vast majority of these folks are women and young girls who are trafficked for sexual purposes. In 2005, it was estimated that 50,000 women and children were brought into the United States for sexual exploitation. The only question is whether the battle over women's healthcare issues has become so intense in the politics of enacting TVPRA that the compelling needs of the victims of slave sex trafficking will be put on hold until after the presidential election. If you are concerned about human trafficking and the men, women, and children who are victims of this crime, and you want to take action to do something about it right now, go to electedface.com. Whether you support the position of the U.S. Conference of Bishops or the mandates of the Affordable Health Care Act with respect to abortion and contraceptives, go to Elected Face and let us know what your opinion is. Vote in our poll and sign our petition. It will take 5 minutes. We need 500,000 people to sign our petition, which we will deliver to your representatives in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate. We will also publish the results of our poll and our petition in a press release. Go to electedface.com right now and take action.